Okay, my friends. So this is me wearing a few hats with my dear friends. I'm Lou Martin, Awaken Spirit Network, and listeningtosmile.com. And here is the CEOs and the CFOs and the COOs and all the C's of Listening to Smile and the magazine, Frequency Minded Magazine. This is Ian Morris and Falyn Morningstar. Hello, everyone.
Thanks so much for having us, Lou.
Yeah, thank you so much, man.
It's my joyous pleasure. So we're here today to talk about, what is this, the fifth or sixth issue now of FMN?
I think it might
Oh my
be
gosh, I think it might be
seventh.
seventh. Yeah.
Seventh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time's flying.
Say again, what?
Time is just flying. I
I'm
think
just
we
flying.
we started it August, I want to say, of
I think so.
2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. Well, so Frequency Minded Magazine, I'll make a pass at it and then please add any thoughts you have. So Ian is a composer in general terms and a poet and an artist in many realms. Falyn is a healer and a practitioner of spiritual practices in terms of consciousness and meditation. And that's sweeping generalization for both of them. But they are this power couple, thank God, and in their love and devotion to each other and to make the world a better place, they've come together. And one of the many projects that they've started recently and in this time frame here is this monthly magazine, Frequency Minded Magazine. It's entirely free. You can get it through listeningtosmile.com, which is the website where Ian's music, 150 albums in 10 years. Am I close?
Yeah, I think total in the last 20 years I've done about 200. It's like 205 albums in 20 years. So, but yeah, most of them were made in the last 10
Yeah,
years.
give or
So,
take,
You know,
yeah.
150, 200 albums,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. And so Ian's done that. I'll let you guys speak here in a second. Ian's done that because he's done an album of original music each month for the last 10 years, and it is frequency minded music. And so we'll talk about all that. The magazine is a place, a thriving community where creative minds, holistic practitioners unite to amplify the healing power of art, music, poetry, and wellness. My friends, take it away.
Yeah, thank you again for having us. I think it's exciting to talk about this because honestly, when Ian originally brought it up to me of how we can house like art, music, and well-being all under this nice umbrella, I was like, I don't know if that's gonna like work. And then he went on to explain, well, aren't we all pulling from the same energy, right? Artists pulling from source for their creativity, healers doing the same thing, musicians as well, and even poets. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm following along. And so we created the Frequency Minded magazine, which interestingly enough, it is FMM as an acronym, and so is Frequency Minded Music, which Ian has had trademarked several years ago. But um, what's interesting is that as we're putting these together every single month that gets launched on the 5th, it's really mind-blowing how it does come together, right? We have features that are in the magazine that are artists and musicians, and then we have writers that can talk about any subject, really. Like they have creative and free will to do whatever they'd like. They just have to provide value. It's their original work and to really showcase themselves, right? That we want this to be a place where you can organically market yourself and that it's completely free. So it's a win-win case for all of us involved.
Yeah. I think for me, like Lou, we talked about this just before the call. It's like a lot of magazines out there want to charge you, quite a penny to get involved with them promoting you. And I feel like most platforms now are pay to play. It's a tough market for people who are wanting to get more awareness around their products or their services or their creativity.
Yes.
And so what we thought was putting together like-minded people and giving them all an outlet to shine, but also we have a lot of friends who are musicians and artists and poets, and their health is not the greatest because they party, or they stay up late. They just have that kind of passion that is like all out, full tunnel vision for that creative vision. And sometimes health falls by the wayside, and I can speak to that on my own accord. Like, if there's times where if I could stay for weeks glued to my studio, I would probably do it. And Fallon's like, come on, let's go for a walk. It's like, let's get some body movement in. And yeah. And so, I can see a lot of my friends needing that help. And when we just really felt like the wellness side of the practitioners that are writing all these articles could be great influences on the creatives and getting more movement and learning more about health. And then also, we felt like a lot of our creative peoples could be really great influences on entrepreneurs and wellness, practitioners, to help them become more creative in their thinking and thinking outside of the box and kind of doing some things differently than they've been done before, becoming a little more punk rock. So yeah, so we thought that this would be a really great merger of like-minded energies that are different enough to inspire each other, and to not be in competition with one another, just something that is kind of a good synergy between both of those groups of people.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's a virtual dinner party with a magazine as the outcome. A new issue each month. Beautiful. Well, I also left this out. You said here, together we're building a world that resonates with love, unity, and empowerment. That's so important to share that, because as you're saying, Ian and Falyn, both of you, and I just love both of you. I'm happy to tell anyone who wants to ask me. You guys are visionaries and idealists, and really reaching for that new world, and the magazine and the music, and the way you've constructed your businesses together, individually and as a partnership, it holds a very high vibration of service and of supporting the values that we all want to see in the world, that we want to create in our future. So it's just really inspiring and exciting. And as you say, it's you're inviting teachers, artists, healers, etc., to make these contributions, and it costs me nothing, to be in the magazine, and I get to share the things that I'm passionate about. And you're both brilliant at giving me the space to do that. And I know it's the same for everyone else who's been in these last 7 issues. So I just want to thank you both again on behalf of all the people you're serving here.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Pleasure.
We also have, and we just had it this last Monday, we have a community call that's completely free, where every month is the second Monday of the month at 6:00 Eastern time. We come on for an hour and 15 minutes, and we get to highlight the folks that are in the issue, as well as have a deeper discussion. And I know, like, you have come to really all of them, and we appreciate all of your just presence and your love and support. And it's really cool to see that growing each month, or the connections that people make within their, sharing. And that's the whole point of why we do that. We want people to connect. We made introductions even after, I think it was after the call, I made like 3 different emails connecting people that were on the call. And so that really does light us up. And that's the whole point, where we're all trying to grow and flourish.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's brilliant. Well, thank you for all of that. We said we might go through the issue here, just kind of article and person by person, and say a few words about each one. The first one we have here is this amazing artist from New York, Cadence Hooks, an artist bridging humanity, nature, and social change. What would either of you like to say about Cadence?
Yeah, I think what's interesting about Cadence, and honestly, it came from Ian's mutual friend, right?
Ben.
From
Yeah.
Ben, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool to connect with her, and she was on the ball. Like we sent her the interview questions and you really had discussion with her, and she was just all about, being in the magazine. So it was really beautiful to work with her. And she does her work in South Africa, New York, and Europe. And so it's cool to have that type of artistic variety, I think. And so you can see that in her work in the article if you guys check that out. And I think she has, you even heard her on the call on Monday. She has such a drive to help folks, right? She had said she's been in South Africa for about 5 years now and really working on helping the community thrive, because she said some of the areas are pretty harsh. And so I think it's really inspiring to see a younger woman doing that sort of larger work. You know what I
think
mean?
she's fearless, this lady,
Yeah.
really beautiful.
Yeah, and her work, it is very different. I know Ian's been in kind of the artistic industry for a while, and he knows, a lot of things. And me just kind of stepping into this fairly recently, it's really unique of how she's presented. I don't know. I think her and other artists that have come up, like Cher or Janelle, it's really cool how each one has their own feel or their own vibe to it, right? They have like these series of exploration. So like Cadence, she has this series of that she calls like the lip series, or a lot of her canvases are maybe they're large enough where they're in, what would you call it? Like
Murals.
they're like large scale. Like
larger paintings.
I forget if there's a right term for that,
We
but
call them murals on buildings.
yeah, and that's just wild to start from an idea and then have it be created in this larger vision and using the environment. I know she in her one project where she used real tree bark to create the visual of this environmental mural. And so it's just cool how an artist can be that creative and bring all these things together in different locations.
I think what's interesting too is she's younger, and she's a world traveler already.
Right.
And when you look at the places that she's shown, it's not small. Like Art Basel in Miami is huge, and she's shown in Vegas and New York and South Africa, and you play different places in Europe, and it's just like it's really cool. And like you said, just that fearless, like, oh, let's try it, let's just go for it. And I think people meet her, and that's an infectious energy that she puts out there. So I think that's why people connect with her work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very big talent, this woman,
Mm-hmm.
and just as you say, I mean, it just brings John Lennon or somebody like this to mind. Picasso, just really just taking all of life and all of the world in her stride and putting her stamp on all of it, and with these really high values. I just thought she was super inspiring.
Yeah,
beautiful. We have Kerf Knotts and Christine Elise, Growing Connections, two musicians.
Yeah. So what's interesting is I ran across these two on Instagram probably like 6-8 months ago, and I followed them. I just really liked what they were doing. But, it's like anything on social media, you're bombarded with so much stuff. But when they came back around, it was actually from one of our writers that's in Charleston, South Carolina. And she, Abby, and she wrote the article on these guys. They're friends of hers. And so we connected with them, and just really their music is just unique. It's a really unique, she plays harp and he does a lot of beat making and emceeing, and it's just really interesting to see that those dynamics come together in that way. I think it's really interesting, and a unique kind of concept. So we actually are talking to them. We have a record label, and they've never explored frequency-based music. So we're talking to them about them possibly doing an EP on the record label that would be frequency-minded, music, and their vibes, geared towards that kind of space. And they seemed open to it. So we'll be talking more in the future. But we just thought it was a really unique style of music and collaboration between their partnership of just something new that the world should see, just really
Beautiful.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely getting me excited to listen to their music, and I love the album they have here, "Grow," with a picture of a beautiful plant, and their names on the plantern, and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
their quote: "As creators, are very conscious not to say that we create healing music. People can always feel when something is authentic." And you say their pain and positivity pour into their craft, which in return creates an unspoken but powerful connection with the audience.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
That album called Grow that we just talked about, it's going to be released on March 7th. So that's something that the community can look out for too.
Very good. Very good. See, exciting. See, I'm already happy we're doing this. I'm learning a lot here. This is brilliant. Well, next we have this guy with the afro out to here in the recording studio.
Yeah.
Hamstank. There's a name. That's straight out of the East Coast, I'd say. Shaping culture through music production and education. What can we say about our brother here, Ian?
Well, I have a lot of synergistic connection with him and the work he's doing because he's empowering youth, teaching them how to make music, record music. He said he's even helping kids with video games and coding, learning how to step into that. And I think it's amazing. I think I'm losing my voice from so much talking. But yeah, I think it's really what he's doing is really powerful because he's taking people and helping them learn how to channel their soul and their heart into these creative outlets that are really, going to go on and affect people in a really big way. Like for me, when I make a song and it goes out into the world, it's like a year later I'll get feedback from people that I've never met saying, "Hey, this really had an effect on me." And I think what he's doing is doing same, except it's the kids, it's the youth that he's investing time and energy into, and then he's giving them tools so that they can then in turn do their part in reaching change for the world. And so yeah, it's just really cool what he's doing. Yeah, very, very cool.
Perfect. As a Boston-bred music producer, Tony works in many genres. He currently teaches and designs music production programs at Boston Public Library's Teen Central. That's fantastic. Well, he looks like a guy who's just lit up by life, just totally turned on.
Yeah, he's got a great energy. He's always been fun to talk to.
Yeah, great heart. We got in connection with him through a previous feature that we did called This Bliss, and they're in the same kind of location in the greater Boston area.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Isn't there a big music school up there, Ian?
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of schools there, but there's also a lot of like music and art collectives that are doing really awesome stuff there. So there's a lot of music and art in that area.
Right.
But yeah,
beautiful, beautiful. Well, we're ripping through it here, but it's a feast, my friends. Falyn, we come to A Journey Through Open Heart Surgery, Insights and Support by our friend Falyn Morningstar. What would you say?
Yeah, so this one was absolutely close to my heart because my mother just recently had open heart surgery January 6th. And
how is she doing?
She's doing fantastic. Yeah. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better experience, amongst, hearing that your mom has to have her main aortic valve replaced is certainly a scary thought, right? All these fear-based things kind of come into play. But honestly, it was beautiful. And so I thought I'd create an article that goes through, certain phases, right? What did we do to help her prep for it? So, right, are there certain natural supplements that she was taking, and how was she getting extra rest for that? And then I went into the procedure itself, where we got it done, the doctor that we used, our experience, personally. So that was like a whole 4-day thing that was about an hour and a half away. We chose to be close by in a hotel for those 4 days, and then it goes into friendly note here is that I did put photos of her valve in there.
I
So if
saw
you're
that.
kind of
Yes,
grossed out by something like that, please don't scroll that far down. But
it's all
I
good.
think it was really needed to see that it is quite a miracle that my mom is still here because, at the view of it looking down, it
Yeah,
was like this small little slit, and that's where all of our body's blood and is
right.
supposed to channel through. So it's pretty remarkable of just how she's been able to recover this quickly and just this smoothly. It's amazing. So,
Yes.
um, yeah, so the article goes through that and, different tests that she's gone through. And I'm hoping that it does um, give people that are maybe going through something similar some hope or just some
Yeah.
direction. Because I honestly do think what we did before going into surgery was majorly helpful in her recovery process with listening to smile music, with
Right.
the mineral supplementation, whole foods, rest. I mean, it definitely did help.
Fantastic. Yeah, you did a great job here, my friend. Just very thorough and loving and devoted, and the pictures are so helpful, including that dramatic one. God bless your mom's valve. And it's great to hear that Ian's music was, working the magic there as well. That is no surprise. That's wonderful. I like the picture of you here with your cute hat playing the piano in the lobby.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's a favorite of mine.
Yeah, it
Wonderful.
was a remarkable facility that of where she got it done. It was University of Maryland Medical Center.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I went through my own surgery, as you know, 2 years ago, April, and the care and the support and all the TLC from everyone, it changes you. You're a different person on the other side of those experiences, and
Yeah.
it's great that everyone's okay and life goes on, and you've gotten the message from all that, and had a
Yeah.
chance
Yeah.
to carry on. It's wonderful. So here's to your mom, full speed ahead.
Thank
Um,
you.
you're very welcome, honey. Thanks for sharing all that. That was extremely, personal and intimate and vulnerable and courageous of you. So, you know, this is a very kind thing you're sharing with us. Next on our hit parade here is Sam Kukathis, Soul
Yeah.
Transformations. What can I
Hmm.
say about Sam? He looks like a happy chappy.
Yeah. Um, yeah, Sam went to Oxford University and he is really well connected. He was a therapist for a while and did a lot of human behavior studies and all kinds of things. But he said that he felt this limitation with himself and he started really using his voice and speaking to those limitations and having a lot of breakthroughs for himself. And so other people started having him work with them, and they started experiencing really powerful breakthroughs. And so Sam is on our record label. I've created some music and he has different vocal tonings that he brings through on his music. And he just really likes to create disruptions and patterns through his voice, really helping people move through energy, and stagnant energy, getting it moving. And I think it's very similar to what I like to do with my music. So it
Wow.
was interesting putting those two things together. And he's traveled all over the world, Antarctica, Africa, different, Egypt, and different places that he has been sharing his work. And it just seems like he's growing more and more. So he's really getting connected to a lot of the elite, like CEOs and things like that, working on a larger scale with people. So it's interesting. Just in the 6 months, 8 months I've known him, watching his gift just take off and skyrocket, and him doing bigger and better things, and just watching him grow, it's just been really, really cool.
Amazing.
And yeah, I think it's just neat to be a part of that whole thing with the article. And we did a podcast with him, and I think
Okay.
that podcast was really awesome. We did a good job at covering all the things that he's up to. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
He presented at the UN.
Yeah. Yeah.
He calls it neuroresonance optimization.
Yes.
Okay, and you've done an album together.
Yeah, we did a single for the record label, and
Okay,
we're working on some other stuff in the future.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Cutting edge, man. Great stuff.
Yeah.
How you guys have the best casting system. Your net is wide, and you find some amazing folks here. Brilliant. Falyn, we come now to your friend Rachel, who specializes in healing people from trauma. What's her surname?
Rachel Harrison.
Okay. Can you talk about her a little bit?
Yeah, would love to. So Rachel, she was a super sweet woman. She's been in a therapist for 25 years, I believe, and she developed trauma specialists. I think first it started out in either Maryland or Delaware, I can't remember, but thereafter, the other office came open, and then just recently a Pennsylvania office. So she has 3 different locations of therapists that are working with her for trauma specialists. So we had the opportunity to have a podcast recording with her. And so that is in the article and really highlighting what they do. It's not just a talk therapy, but they also incorporate EMDR therapy. So I believe it's eye movement desensitization reprocessing, the
Thank you. Well
DR. Yeah. So we go into that in the recording and how it's beneficial, how it works with different hemispheres of the brain, to really reprogram and kind of lessen sort of very intense traumatic experiences for people. So
did you ever work
that
with
was,
her yourself?
what's that?
Have you ever worked with her yourself?
Not personally, but I have done EMDR therapy personally before. So I do have some experience with that, but we're in the process of hopefully planning a live event with them at their Pennsylvania location to see if there's ways that we can incorporate the music with their therapist to see if that even enhances what they're already doing.
Great.
So that'll be a fun discussion. We had the opportunity to be on her podcast as well, so that is also out. In the article, it does link to her podcast platform. It's called the Mental Health Entrepreneur.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you. Wonderful. Well, this is just goes from strength to strength here. The frequency connection, tools to inspire balance. Aaron Furtado.
Yeah. So I was going to say, Aaron put this awesome article together, really exploring frequency-minded music with Listening to Smile and how it's personally helped her. She's been a part of the community for
4 years.
4 years, yeah. Yeah, she's a wonderful woman. And she makes a comparison with the AO scan and how they could be used in combination to really enhance somebody's well-being.
I don't know what that is. AO scan?
Yeah, it's a device that uses frequencies, and it interacts with the patients. It kind of has its own sequence of frequencies that it puts into the body, based off of feedback it gathers from the patient in connection with the machine.
Wow.
So it's like a frequency machine, kind of like a Rife machine, but just a little different.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with those,
that was my next question. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Wow, this is very, very exciting. Okay, we're just roaring through here. You have a fireman who is teaching a path to mindfulness and resilience, of all things. That doesn't happen every day. The article, God bless him, is Grounded in Chaos, and his name is TJ Prior. Something like this. What can we say about
TJ? Yeah, you don't mean to talk about it. So TJ, we actually met at an event last year when we were touring, doing our live events last year.
Right.
He came to one of the events in Frederick, Maryland, and we just met him, and he just had a really great energy. What's interesting about TJ is he has that handlebar mustache, the big mustache.
Yes.
And when he was there, he was just dressed so different from everyone in the crowd. And I was like, man, this guy's interesting. But out of all the people that were there, when he came up at the end, his energy was just so heartfelt. And so it's like you would not expect that energy to come from that person. And you can say, well, that's me being judgmental. It's just being caught off guard, because it's like the two, and I think people think that about me a lot of times too, right? It's like I didn't expect Ian to be this person. When I looked at him, he looked one way and kind of
Yes.
nerdy and whatever. And so yeah. So it's like everyone has these, preconceived notions or whatever, but it just was really shocking the energy that came through because it was just such a different impression from the outer
Yeah.
exterior.
Yeah, man.
And so from that event, he just started talking to us little by little and was wanting to get involved. And he actually, he's working with our music now as a practitioner. He's writing with the magazine, and he's really got his own coaching program with him and his wife that is getting ready to launch into the world. And he's working with a lot of first responders, and he's working within his own fire department, bringing mindfulness and education to these guys.
Yeah.
In his words, saying that they're not really exposed to this kind of stuff. So it's really neat that he's doing what he's doing. Yeah,
That's an understatement, my friend. Yes, I mean absolutely. He's head and shoulders above the crowd, and beautiful. That was all so helpful. I'm just looking at the first paragraph here. Did he write the article? Or
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he's a great writer too. I'm happy to say this. He says, just very briefly here, to get a taste of his consciousness, TJ, the fireman, he says, as first responders, we witness the worst moments of people's lives. We see suffering, loss, and chaos, and over time, that weight can settle deep within us, with or without our awareness. The mind clings to the past, replaying the moments we couldn't control or projects into the future, filling us with fear of what might happen next. Without realizing it, we carry these moments home, letting them shape how we see the world and how we show up for the people we love. But through mindfulness, we have the power to shift that narrative. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, fabulous. Okay. I'll have to dive into that one as well, clearly.
Yeah, he's got a video there too where you can really see his energy. It's neat. That's one of the reasons that we do what we're doing is we're doing short format video for the most part and short format articles so that people can come check out the magazine. They have the whole month to go through it and it's not overwhelming. They can kind of just dive in and I think the videos really help people see the personality of the writers, and I think that's really important to have those when you can. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Well, I know we're coming down the home stretch here. I don't want to take too much of your time here today, but we've come to my dear friend who I introduced to you guys, and Falyn did just such a great interview with her. This is Cashel O'Toole, and she is she calls herself in the interview an intuitive artist, and she's a friend of mine. I know her mom. Her name is Jane Fitzgerald, who has a crystal skull, and the two of them came out to my house a few years ago and did some healing on me. We became fast friends, and Cashel does very beautiful art. Would you say, Falyn?
Absolutely. Yeah. I thought it was unique again, like going back to just artists and their techniques of how they express themselves. She has this very unique brush stroke. I don't even know how to describe it except for that you have to look in the article.
Vivid.
But how it just integrates together is just very unique, and how the vibrant colors flow. And honestly, she was another one that was really beautiful to work with. Such a sweet woman. And, having be a new mother, I think she loved the opportunity to help put this together and really showcase her work amongst the busy mom stuff. So it was cool to put that together.
Yes, wonderful. I'm just delighted that she connected with you guys. And
I liked that she did digital art and the canvas art. I think it was just really cool that she had different styles that she could do. So.
Yeah. It was almost like she has three different mediums, like
fabric.
Yeah, she does fabric as well and different scarves, and putting her art on that too. She's a very versatile artist, trying to just promote in different avenues. It's really cool.
Yes, brilliant. Well, we come to Anton, our brother, and brother from another mother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anton, how do we say his surname? Chagor?
Zachor, yeah.
Zachor.
That one took us a little bit to remember because it's with the CZA. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Yes. So Anton is a force of nature. We all love him. To know him is to love him. What would you like to say about him and his piece here?
I think I've talked to Falyn about this. I like so much different music. Like I literally listen to jazz and punk rock and heavy stuff and electronic and old music, folk music, John Prine, all kinds of just stuff. And I love music in general. And one of the things, like I have a lot of friends who really only like certain styles, and if you express to them that you like something that's out of what you have a connection to them in, they'll say like, oh, that sucks, or that's not good, or why do you listen to that? And I think Anton, and it doesn't bother me, I'm just like, I don't care if people think it's weird, I like different music. And Anton's the same way. I think like he'll do reviews of extremely mainstream stuff on these Anton analysis clips that he does.
Right.
And I just think it's neat because if you actually get below the surface of whether you like the band or not, just listening to his dissecting of the emotional energy and kind of all, he's even getting into human design now, where he's bringing that into these analysis clips, which I think is truly unique. If people give it a chance, I think they'll really connect with his energy. He's just an open heart, vulnerable, sensitive, loving dude. And he's got a lot of different things that he covers each month, that he brings something different. And it's always kind of a surprise, like, because he has free reign to bring what he wants to bring to it. And so I'm just like, oh, Savage Garden, like Savage Garden. And he's like, yeah. And it's like, it's just, so it's like it's just neat to see all the diversity he packs into those videos.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's something else. Love him. Well, okay. I'm just being conscious of the time. Ian, let's talk about There Am I, and thank you for putting me in your magazine as well. I'm thrilled to be there. And I'm doing Patricia Cota-Robles and her meditation for divine government. And that was a real, calling to share that with people. So thank you. And I know that's been seen 1,500 times, which is a great number for me. And then we did Invocation to the New Earth, and then Song for the Earth. The original name of the Earth, according to Addie Lamborn and Patricia, is Maravati. And so this is all of that was a pleasure to share with you. So thanks for letting me do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we come to Blueprints for a Rocket Ship, Mr. Ian Morris.
Yeah.
You're up.
Okay. Yeah, Blueprints for Rocket Ship is really my first poetry book that I put out into the world. And it's from one of the titles and the selection of poems. And it just talks about being a little kid and dreaming, and just what that looks like. And I think that's what I wanted the energy of the album to have. So this project is basically visual art, poetry, and then it has two separate albums. So there's a meditation album, and then there's a beats album that is like lo-fi instrumental hip hop. So it's kind of like just all instrumental music. A lot of people use it for like work in the background while they're working or studying, or just kind of cleaning house or whatever. It's just kind of a chill, for the most part, music that you can put on and listen to. And the poetry, is just really centered around themes of like love and curiosity, things like that. Just very childlike artwork that's included, in there. But it's neat. It's a interactive PDF that is really different from, these days people have one digital image to represent their album, and I really miss the vinyl days where you could open it up and you had all the artwork and interactions, information to interact with. And so that's what we've done, is we've created what we call the expanded experience PDF. And it's basically something you can view on your computer or your phone, and it has clickable links, and it's just, you can learn a lot. There's a resources side where there's books and movies that inspire. So the purpose of this is just to inspire people and just to give them resources that will inspire them, for them to become more creative and put their creativity out in the world.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and bring bring their childlike humor and wonder with the world back, because I think the world we live in today doesn't really encourage that a lot of times, and so it just becomes dormant. So this was Ian's beautiful just opportunity to bring that forth for people.
Yeah, I'm really blown away by that. I didn't realize that's what it was, Ian. It's really, really beautiful.
It was like one of Ian's largest outputs for the month. I think I don't even know how many pages it is, 30,
yeah,
40 pages of PDF, but there's 20 beat songs.
24.
I'm sorry. And then what? Another 6 minutes. So 30 tracks in 1 month's album. And so those are
that's a lot of music, my friends.
Yes, a lot of music, a lot of time, a lot of creativity, lots of flow.
No wonder you have to drag him away to get a walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, can I just share one of your poems here, Ian?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Climbing into the brightness of the moon. Mm-hmm. My lantern carves my path as if it were a dotted line cut out, and my lungs hurt from the staleness of this cold night. But I hear you calling me. I saw you from my window, full of a beauty that captured the entire night sky. So I make my way through the tall, wet grass of these forgotten woods to stand directly beneath you, humming the song that plays in our hearts, even when I can't see you. We made promises, so one day we will have to figure it all out, the tools that are needed for climbing into the brightness of the moon. It's gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful. Wow. For Jean-Michel Basquiat. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, yes. I'll have to resist the temptation, but there's a lot to share here, as I knew there would be. That's fantastic. Yeah. I mean, this is the way it is with you two. You scratch the surface, and it's just endless. It's infinite. It's wonderful. All right. Well, is there anyone else who want to cover here as we come down the home stretch?
Honestly,
I think there's, so I don't know if you can play it, but on the Bandcamp, not the beat music one, but the Bandcamp features, it says
on your page, on the
on the magazine.
Just on your one.
No, not on mine. It's underneath Blueprints. It's featured artists from Bandcamp.
Yes.
Yeah, if you click on that, the first one that's represented is Arthur Allgood, except his project name is called Phones with Chords. And tremendous. This guy won the singer-songwriter stage for NPR a couple years back. He recorded with the Wallflowers band, but this is just him recording at his house. And so if you listen to like any of those tracks off this album comes out in March as well. But if you scroll down and just, there's a playable link there where you can play track 2 or track 1. Both of them are just tremendous. Like you can hear an amazing folk artist that is really developing.
This is the first one.
I think as far as sharing it, you'd have to go to share and share computer audio.
You can hear that. I've just put sound from musicians on. Can you hear it okay?
I think he's on the other Bandcamp.
What's up?
It's the other Bandcamp, not the beat music one, but it says featured artists from Bandcamp, and then there's one that says Bandcamp beat music features. There's 2 different ones.
You want the other one?
Yeah, author, yeah.
Okay. Yes. Martin Benson.
No. The name of the article came out February 5th.
Featured artists from Bandcamp.
Yeah, and it should be the first one down if you scroll down. Yellow cover.
Yes, frequency minded. Don't listen, support. Here we go. Piecemeal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Song Wolves in the Water.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
So you
Here
can
we
click
go.
on it.
Is that all right?
Yeah. Cool. I love his stuff. He's really diverse. You know, he can play a lot of different styles, but very folky oriented stuff. And um but he's going to be working with us on a record label this year. He's got two songs. He's going to put out a single that are frequency based music, so that we're really starting to sway people from the standard tuning into these frequency based tracks
Yes.
because they're curious. They're becoming more curious and they're open to doing it. So I think it's going to be really neat this year to see the different types of artists, and eventually we'll have Lou on there as well.
Yes.
You know.
By God, we'll live to see
So
that day. Yes.
yeah. Yeah. But I think it's going to be really neat. So yeah, I'm glad that you got to check out. But every month, man, we hip hop instrumental stuff and then folk and rock and different things like that. So we're always looking for new artists to feature, but we like to focus on Bandcamp because if people like the music, they can buy it and support the artist. Streaming does nothing for the artist, doesn't
Sure.
help them.
Sure.
And it's just something that we really want to give back to the people making this beautiful art.
Sure. So Ian, this is brilliant. And yes, we will record me at the proper frequency one day, please God. And I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a big adventure. Um, how much music do you have on this magazine? How many albums?
There's a lot there.
This
Yeah,
is
there's
what
a
I'm realizing.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
this is why this is so good for me, my friends, because
Mhm.
to really have the time and space and your guidance to dive down deep into this, it just, it really is a whole different experience.
Yeah, we do 4 features of instrumental hip hop type music. We call it beat music because it's just one person making the music on their own,
Right?
like, kind of DJs or beat musicians. So I love that music personally. I think it's neat what one person can do with
Yeah.
technology. It's insane.
Yeah.
But then also we're featuring like folk music and soul music and R&B and all that kind of stuff. So we do 4 of each one. So we have 4 of like Bandcamp features and then 4 of the beat features every single month. So
And
it's just neat.
2 albums from you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. So there's
10
every
albums
month. Yeah.
on this
Every month.
magazine. I had
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Every month we, yeah.
wow. Well, that makes it all worthwhile right there. Let me tell you, that's just incredibly powerful. Wonderful.
Cool.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I think we've covered all the bases. Is there anything you want to bring our attention to as we wrap it
Yeah. I
up?
think just all the viewers for your community can support our music as well as supporting you by using your code if they want to purchase music. So that we'll put that you can put the your code, the L Martin 24, and
Yes.
then the Bandcamp links for them to click on. But it's a way that they're getting a reduced price on the music buying through you, and then you're also getting supported as a kickback saying thanks Lou for promoting our music. And this is the way we really want things to be. We're all supporting each other and helping each other.
Yes.
So yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Very quickly, who is Lyubov Popova?
Where is that?
Art? Lyubov?
Oh, yeah, it's just an artist that I came across that I wanted to do an awareness piece on. I just
Okay.
really thought her stuff was very unique. And so there's a couple pictures of her work in the article that's in
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
That's from last month, right? Yeah, it's
Hmm.
from last month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, yeah, so it's 10 albums and a dozen interviews or articles and
Yeah, I think this month we had 15 articles. Roughly it ranges from like 10 to 16 each month. So they only come out once a month, giving people the encouragement to not be overwhelmed, like Ian mentioned earlier, of just, hey, go through these. There's a lot of resources, great connections. I mean, connect with folks on Instagram or their website. But
yes,
everything, like we said before, is completely free. So if you
yes,
want to go to listeningtosmile.com/FMM, you can just scroll a little bit down and subscribe. We don't bombard you with emails by any means, but we let you know when the new issue is out, just to say, hey, explore these. And then we also send information about the community call. So it always has the Zoom link in there as well.
right, right. And as you mentioned, you're going to be doing an online way for people that are interested in this project and the music to connect with each other, alternative
Yeah.
healing modalities, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm really excited about that as well. And yeah, is there any of your music, Ian, you want us to share before we bring off
No,
here?
I'm good. I think it's cool.
Okay,
I hopefully they'll be curious and want to check it out. So,
I'm sure they will. It's, 10
yeah.
albums for free, and all the rest of it. It's just it's wonderful. Well, it's again, my friends, it's an honor to be on this journey here with you, and thank you for your time today. And it's been a real education for me, as you can see. So I'm so grateful for all the love and work that you've put into this great project, and I look forward to what's next with you
I
both.
think we should do this every month. I think this would be good for all of us. I think it'd be a great promotion for everyone involved. So yeah, I think it'd be cool if we could do this more.
I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to
Yeah,
do that.
yeah,
Does that
I
work
think
for
it's
you,
fun.
Falyn?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm in.
Okay, great, 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 great. Good deal. Well, wonderful. And to get a little taste of your poetry, it makes me ready for more. There's a lot of both of you in all of this, and as you give, so shall you receive, my friends. So I'm sure more blessings are coming your way, and rightfully so. And I'm very grateful to be on the journey here with you. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
thank you so
Hope you have a
much.
great night.
You too, my friends. God bless
Okay.
you. And as Falyn said, go to listeningtosmile.com and Frequency Minded Magazine, subscribe, share it, and I will be beating the drum about this interview as well. So it's been a pleasure. Thanks again.
Thanks, man.
Okay. Peace.